glad you're with us at Anything Bagel. Let's see. You're back. We're back.
Yeah, we're kind of getting in the groove. School started.
Yeah. Starting to get the feel of fall here in Michigan.
I'm loving it.
Mm.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Especially after Texas. So
Yeah.
I love the fall weather.
Yeah. And Michiganders love football and stuff. So
Yeah, it's like the best time of year.
yes.
In my opinion.
Yeah. So the way we roll here is the way we roll, and we select a topic out of the hat, and anything is up for conversation. And so if you have a topic you would like us to discuss, you can put that in the comments below. And if you think someone would enjoy our episode, we ask that you please share it and like it. And the more likes we have, the more people are able to see our podcasts.
Yeah.
So we can share. Because last time we were spreading positivity. And
there's been some good ones.
Yes, we like to share that good stuff out into the world. And I know a lot of people enjoyed our Don't Put Your Stuff in the Woods.
Did they?
Episode.
Yeah.
So,
It was a good one. I like it.
It was a good one.
That's one of my favorites.
It's a passionate one. So,
yeah. So we have the dogs if you see them.
Yep, we have dogs in the podcast today.
Yeah.
And we decided that we needed to do outside because we're not going to be able to do outside much longer in Michigan. So
we're going to take this and enjoy it while we got it.
That's right.
Because it will be only inside pretty soon.
Yeah. All right. So there comes our favorite moment.
It's fun.
We're going to select our topic and see where we go today. So Danielle, no.
Oh,
I'm me.
You okay?
Oh, me. Okay,
you do it,
and we'll try to remember next time.
Okay.
If we have a guest, so they get to draw. So
Okay.
Our topic this week is your work and your worth are two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Mm-hmm.
coming from somebody who was working a lot.
Now, this is something that took me a long time to learn, that my work and my worth were two different things, because I was somebody who grew up, and not a bad thing, but that, that you worked for a living, that was important. And I just was somebody who kind of grabbed a hold of that, and my work did become a lot of my worth. The older I'm getting, the more I understand that I'm worthy no matter, no matter what. I started working when I was 16 at the old KFC.
Yes.
I
think I was about that age. Because my first job was at the restaurant washing dishes. But I think I was younger than 16 because I wasn't old enough to drive.
Yeah.
So, been working a while already.
I know.
It's kind of,
Yeah. But even back then, I mean, I worked a ton of hours and, worked my way up from being a dishwasher to a customer service to assistant manager and then manager. And, I don't know, I took a lot of pride in it. And then also when things didn't go right, I had a hard time with that, kind of that's where you don't understand that your worth doesn't come from your work. So if something didn't go exactly like it should be going, and like maybe the owner got, maybe upset about something, or we had this owner that would just drop in at random times, maybe his wife. And you just knew they were always looking for something.
Oh, yeah.
Looking for something. So, yeah. But I had a lot of fun. There.
Yeah.
I've always been able to do that pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have fun while I'm at work.
Yeah, I usually.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun at nights in the hospital.
Yeah.
Like scaring people and because we work so much of our life, and especially like at the hospital, you become family when you're in the middle of the night several nights in a row, and so scaring people and
we would get so busy at the restaurant. I mean just so busy. It would just be crazy. And then you couldn't help but just start cracking up about stuff.
Yeah.
Because everything was a mess and
throwing
people
stuff
running and,
Yeah.
just crazy or something would hit you funny. And everybody
Yeah.
kind of had their own personalities that,
Yeah.
so yeah, it was interesting. And then our restaurant was next door to a Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody that sometimes we would trade, chicken for
Yeah. Oh, that's
ice
so
cream
cool.
for chicken and
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
But and then when I left that job and took another one, I mean, I was proud of myself for trying something new, but I also didn't know then. What I know now is that it's okay to not know everything.
Yeah.
When you
Mm-hmm.
start doing something new, it's okay
Yeah.
to say, I don't know how yet, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I always had the I'll figure it out thing, but I was not always real good
Maybe
at
so open about it.
Yeah, and being okay
Yeah.
with the fact that it's okay if you don't know everything.
Yeah.
But I remember the first couple days at the next job, sitting in this office like, I don't even know what I'm doing.
A fish out of water. Yeah.
Yeah, but I figured it out. That was at athletic club. And I worked my way up in that one too. And yeah. And we would have fun there nights,
Yeah.
a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I think your work being tied to your worthiness has inbred into all of us, at least in this particular area. And not necessarily in a bad way, but we have farmers who work their life away. They don't stop.
the auto industry
Yeah.
in Michigan.
Yeah, and we're full of factories. We're blue collars, middle class town. So work and worth very much do appear to go hand in hand.
Right. And there can be a healthy, it can be healthy. It's just when it gets out of balance, and you start to, because you're not always going to get it right.
Yeah. Yeah. And your work really needs to be separated from yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I was listening, we had a PD day thing the other day, and the guy was talking about when you were at work, having like a light, like a light switch in your car, just a little light switch. Go buy one at the hardware store or whatever. And when you get in your car after work, you flip the switch.
Oh, yeah.
Say, I'm done with
Yeah.
work. I'm going home. I'm going to focus on my home, my family. If you have kids or dogs or, whatever it might be, that you turn that off and leave it there and go home and do that. And you're going to do both things better.
Yeah.
If you can leave, if you can leave them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what we could say, or maybe you could offer some advice on how to, how to work on in your everyday work on not allowing it to be tied to your worthiness,
I've had to, one of the things I've had to learn to say is it's okay to say I don't know, and then I will find out.
Yeah.
I will figure it out, or I will get back to you or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that would be really super hard for me.
Yeah.
And I would get like very anxious and, uneasy when somebody was asking a question and I didn't know the answer to it. It kind of freaked me out.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, if something doesn't go right, it doesn't make you a bad person.
Yeah.
It just means
we're all human, and your
it
job
can go right.
Yeah. Your job can never be or go 100%.
Yeah.
But I think it does come down to also making that work-life balance and separating your work from your life. Because I think that's where the lines start to get a little blurred with worthiness, because you can't give 100% on both areas at the same time.
Right.
So I'm in this battle, not necessarily the worthiness battle, but the working too much, and I don't stop. So making sure you have to take time for yourself.
Right. Yeah.
Because that'll help you.
boundaries and,
Yeah.
yeah. And, in the world of like email, I don't know, bombarded
Yeah.
with email. And I've had to try to learn to set boundaries with that,
Yeah.
and say, okay, I'm just going to check my email 3 times a day. And because if somebody can't live without me responding back to them
For like 3 hours.
3 or 4 hours,
Yeah.
whatever it might be, then we got a problem,
And speaking of that, might be a good idea if you're feeling like your work is tied to your worthiness, is kind of try to take a outside look. Like realistically, it's only 3 hours that these people cannot get a hold of you. And if it's by email, it's not life or death.
Right.
So
Right. Because otherwise you would think they would be calling.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I think sometimes because you get so wrapped up into work that you think, oh my gosh, I have to answer, or if I don't answer right away, but really, hold up, it's already only 3 hours, and they won't even know it's been 3 hours by the time you respond. So
Yeah. And kind of setting those boundaries when you first start a new job, because you know how they say, like, when you're married, don't do in the first 2 weeks what you don't want to do for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that same thing of saying, you know
geez,
what, I
you
have
should have told me.
boundaries. I don't check my work email after such and such at night and before such and such in the morning. Or,
Yeah.
I don't answer work phone calls
Mm.
after whatever time.
Yeah.
And unless it is emergency, I
Yeah.
will, and so it's like setting those up
Yeah.
right when you start working somewhere, which can be hard
Yeah.
because then you feel like, oh, but I just think people are going to be a better employee and more of a long-term employee if you don't burn them out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or expect them to burn themselves out.
This might be off topic, but not really, because I got a call from a nursing recruiter, and I never answered the phone, but I did. And it was this gentleman from Ohio, and he was asking if I was interested in a travel nurse position. And I said, well, funny you ask. Actually, I'm working on getting out of the nursing career. And he's like, wow, I've been kind of hearing that a lot lately. I'm like, I bet you have. He's like, yeah, they're either not nursing anymore or they're not traveling. He's like, do you know why? I'm like, well, what are they telling you? And it's kind of sad because nurses are leaving like for pay and treatment, the way that we're treated in, especially like the hospital and corporate and healthcare and such. And
right. And being understaffed and feeling like people are at a risk of losing their nursing license because something might go wrong because you don't have enough staff.
Things that are out of my control.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that it's kind of like the worthiness thing because it can be attached to you. Like for me, for nursing, was attached to me and who I am. Changing careers. Although I'm sad for our healthcare system, I'm happy to know that like nurses are trying to branch out and find things for themselves that are
healthier.
Healthier. I mean, like I said, it sucks for us who need healthcare.
Right.
And I don't want that for our country, but for nurses are humans too.
Right.
So I'm glad that people are because leaving a career that you've paid for, it's a big choice.
It's a big choice, yeah, and a big decision, and
yeah. And that really can be tied to your worthiness for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So,
well, another time too that worthiness is tied to your work is when you retire for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because that's where they got so much of their identity and their worth from that when they retire, I think that's why you hear of people who, they die early or they just don't know what to do with themselves and they just end up, I don't know, bored and
grouchy.
Yeah. And so a lot of people just don't, it's like, I don't know what to do with myself if I don't have that, because somebody will ask, the first thing people ask you, not always, but a lot of times is, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
And what's our first thing we always say? We talk about career.
Yeah.
Hi, what do you do? No, we don't say most of the time.
Yeah, like,
well, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a grandma, I'm all those things. So it's like, I do this, I work, the school business manager and a nurse. And, yeah. And then we go, so a lot of times, when you retire,
it's kind of taken away.
Yeah. That's why I'm trying to mold myself into the new things that I want to do, to be re-inspired, so that
I hope that inspires people because I'm excited for you. You're going to have so much free time to do whatever inspirations you want to do.
I know.
It's going to be great.
Speaking of that, I'm doing this new thing as part of my life coaching class that I'm doing
Yeah.
program. I'm going to do the program out of the book Artist's Way. I think it's Julia Harmon, something like that. Julia Harmon, and it's like opening up your creativity, like opening up that part of you.
Oh, I'm
Part
gonna
of your
like
brain,
that.
because
Yeah.
there's the other part of our brain. I was just talking about that on the last podcast with Grandma about the whole right left brain thing. And one of the things you do is every morning you do morning pages. And I know a lot of people have heard of morning pages. I think it's becoming more popular, but it's like a free flow longhand write, and you write 3 pages of whatever comes to your mind, whatever. You don't judge it, you write it,
Ooh, that would be really hard.
because and then it like just gets some of the crap out of your brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's other things, that one of them is some affirmation things, but every day there's like tasks things and different writing kind of things that
Yeah.
you're thinking about,
I'm
different things.
interested.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really cool. And then there's one where you take yourself on an artist date.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like take yourself to a painting class, or
Yeah.
take yourself to a park and draw a picture of a tree.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Or whatever. So, and it's not just for artists. It's not just for writers. It's not just whatever.
Yeah.
That creative.
It should be for everybody.
Because we've talked about creativity.
Did you read Big Magic?
I did read Big
Yeah.
Magic. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. So
that got my inspiring more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And about letting yourself just not have to be. I can't be perfect at it if I've never done it before.
Yeah.
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 Letting yourself try.
I don't know how we all
be a
forgot.
Beginner.
Yeah, I don't know how we forgot that.
I don't know either.
We were never all at once, never not a beginner.
Right.
So I don't know how we got so far.
That's in one of the books I'm working on right now. Is one of the things I'm kind of writing about right now.
Oh, good.
Is like when we were born, and that most of us, if we didn't have some kind of physical disability or mental disability or whatever, that most of us had the ability to probably learn and do just about most anything.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're all physically different,
Yeah.
So, some of us, aren't going to obviously go in the NFL and, face, some linebackers or whatever,
Yeah.
But that we have the ability to
We do.
learn way more than we ever will. I mean, our brains have capacity that we'll never even
it's untapped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think a good way to help if you're struggling separating your work, and we've talked about this in the past, is get a dang hobby.
Right.
Find something, but never stop. Because I feel like people get stuck on, I don't know what my hobby is. I don't know. Well, quit moping about it and just start trying new things. Don't like it, move on. Be a little ADHD about it, which I'm very good at. Just try something, move on if you don't like it. The inspiration will hit you, and you'll stick with whatever comes to you.
Go for walks. Go to ride your bike. Go to take a painting class.
Because you're not just your work, and for us women, we're not just moms. We're not just work. So doing something, I mean, it's better for your kids anyways, if we're doing something for yourself.
Right. Doing something that brings you joy.
Yeah.
Do a joy jar that we've talked about before on here, putting things that bring you joy. And when you have time, draw something out of there, and then just go do it. I did that, and one day it was sketch. So I got out my sketchbooks, and I sat down and
that's so good.
Sketch some daisies, because I like daisies. And
it's just good for you. Mm-hmm. And if you're joyful, everybody else will be joyful. Mm-hmm. It just is a catalyst, keeps going.
Right. So. And some of those hobbies, if you are not at the age of re-inspirement, retire, but you've tried some new things and done some things, then you have some things to do once you have more time. And gardening. I mean, there's just all kinds of things that you can to get you out of that side of your brain that's just the black and white
work side.
Yeah. And for me, I work with numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to activate that other side of
Yeah.
my brain more
Yeah.
often because
Yeah.
I'm thinking about numbers. Things are black and white. This equals that. If it doesn't, then
Something's wrong. She's got to fix it.
So having that part of me that doesn't have to have a black and white answer,
Yeah. Yeah.
to everything. So, yeah.
That could be so hard for people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting.
But there is some point where we lose that. I think it, I really think it happens when you leave grade school and you start junior high.
Yeah.
That's right there.
Amen. Yep.
Unless you take
I
art
agree.
class or some kind of a music class.
Well, they quit
Or
having
shop.
recess.
I mean, shop is but yeah, just it's like those artistic, and we don't have a lot of life skills kind of classes anymore where they used to teach like sewing
and that's different part of your brain.
Cooking and that kind of stuff. I know some do, but totally off that of going back to being a numbers person. I am excited that the high schools have to start having a personal finance class again.
Oh yeah,
in Michigan.
Kay had personal finance, and I think Lexus already did.
Yeah, could be, but I don't think all schools might not have done it, and I think they have to.
That is exciting, though.
Yeah,
praise the Lord for that.
But when we get in junior high and high school, unless if you're not an athlete and you're not somebody who wants to be in the choir or the band, there's a lot of times there's not.
Yeah.
I wish I would have tried some other things when I was in high school. I wish I would have tried like debate.
I wish I would have known about debate.
I know.
I didn't even know about it until too late. I would have loved that.
Yeah. I know schools are, doing robotics and stuff like that, which is good.
Yeah.
And that gives kids, and then there's also like the gaming being a sport kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And I know some schools around here, at least one I know, has like an outdoor education class where they or outdoor ed club, maybe it is, might not be a class, but a club anyway, where they take them camping and
that's
teach them
cool.
life skills, how you build a fire, how you put up your tent, packing your backpack.
Kind of Boy Scoutish.
Oh, yeah, they do an overnight trip, and
that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Just some stuff like that to, I think, our career tech program
you do have a
in
pretty
schools does give kids that hands-on, let them use that part for their brain, and they've done a pretty good job at ours anyway of incorporating like the career tech and like your math kind of things together, so that you are learning a trade, but you're also learning the math goes along with it, kind of a thing. So so those are a good option for a lot of kids. Yeah. Because different kids learn different.
Yeah. But they're not all the same. Which is kind of mind-boggling that we're just now.
And there's some good trade skills and things,
Yeah, that just need to be, we already are in kind of crisis mode. There's not enough, people going around for all the stuff that needs done. So.
Yeah.
Anyways. How'd we get there?
I'm not sure. And finding joy in your work. That's another thing and that's not always an easy thing to do.
Well, we both have experienced burnout.
Yeah.
And that's hard if you're experiencing burnout, at least in the nursing, you'll have to give your take. At least in nursing, you have got to change nursing jobs. I straight left nursing, but you don't have to do that.
Right.
That's a little extreme.
Just something different.
But I did change from ER to hospice, and it was a world of difference. So, and don't overthink it. If you're burnt out, don't just stay burnt out. And remember, we've talked about this, I don't know about on the podcast, but certainly outside. One, you need to make a change, but the change it's not permanent. Everybody, okay, if you change jobs, you can, especially for nurses, most of the times you can go back to where you came.
Right. Or somewhere else.
Yep.
They always need
or
you can go do travel nursing if you have the ability to be able to go do that.
Yeah. I just don't stay burnt out in your job because it just that just keeps rolling into your life, which will not help with your worthiness feeling. It definitely won't help with your work-life balance.
And so use your vacation days.
Yes, some of the nurses kind of find me crazy when I talk to them about that. Like when kind of like put my foot down, was like, no, we're trading goods and services essentially here. You hired me for this job, but not all this other stuff. Like, I won't pick up a shift unless there's incentive. They always offer incentive. And I told all the other nurses to do the same. I'm like, do not do that, because you're trading. What are you trading? Your family time.
Your time for,
and that's what we all will complain about, especially moms. I don't get time with my kids, because then you pick up time. And, well, if I'm going to cut out time with my family, myself, my kid, it's going to be worth it then. So we need to just stop devaluing ourselves and figure out whatever, like, compensation or whatever. Stop picking up the overtime. You don't have to pick it up. They'll figure it out. And we just need to stop being slaves to our jobs. And that's really what I kind of encourage all the nurses that I talk to, because we do kind of end up being like that. And I'm like, no. We signed up for, like, full-time hours, and we don't need to go above and beyond that. And that's really a healthy boundary for somebody to, I really hope that somebody will.
Yeah.
Because.
Yeah. And taking your time, if you have leave time, PTO time, whatever it's called, time, using that and knowing that, you know what, the place is going to survive.
And it will be fine.
Without you. And you know what? If you get hit, I always say, by the proverbial bus, it's going to go on.
Yeah.
The job's going to go on without you. It is going to go on without you.
And don't feel bad about calling in for a mental health day. I mean, you know who you are if you call in excessively and are lazy. That's just different. But I used to get so anxious to call in when I was actually sick. Like, I went to work. Everybody in nurses are going to kill me, but I went to work with influenza because I was so worried about calling in. And why did I do that?
Yeah.
That for what? Like, that you just end up feeling worse later on. And even if you need a mental health day, you have so many sick days, just use them. What else are they going to do? They're just use them. Call in. Who cares? Even if you're not sick, even if you want to go hang out with your kids, the job will be there when you get back. Always is.
It is going to go on. It will go on. And that's one of those things about learning that. But that for me came with time.
Yeah.
So I just try to. Now I try to tell myself that if I'm not finding joy, I got to figure out how to get to that place with it, or do something different. Because that kind of needs to be like my compass. And I think you can get there. It's just a lot of times matter of setting those boundaries and stuff. So and for me, I'll say, in nursing, in certain careers, firemen, police, a lot of times it is life or death. In accounting, it is not. This is not. This is not life or death. And
listen,
we will figure it out, and we will get through this. And I have that right up on the wall in the office. This is not life or death. It's accounting.
Yeah, I love that. Well, for me, changing jobs, it actually is nice, because I'm traumatically wise, actually, I've lived in this, like, life or death.
Oh, yeah.
Especially from the emergency room. And it is so refreshing if I just shut my laptop and go to bed and wake up in the morning, because nothing is going to happen. The world will move on. Like, it's really comforting to not have a life or death situation.
But I do want to say that I am very appreciative, to those of you who have those careers and do have those careers, I mean, because obviously but it's just a matter of figuring out how to make those people in those careers' lives.
And not
better.
just nurses, doctors too, tied into your worthiness. We just really just need to not work so much. And allow yourself time for yourself, because that's just it's not part of
this country is a lot different than other countries.
I know.
But it'll be interesting when we go to Europe. Just to kind of get an idea of just because I've never been there. And just get a feel for the culture and the ability to maybe have a better work-life balance. I think maybe they do.
They
Now,
do.
maybe not in China.
I don't know.
I don't know.
They don't
It seems
tell
like
us
they
about
work
that.
hard.
Yeah, they don't tell us about
And
that.
maybe North Korea. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because we don't know everything on anything bagel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, from the outside looking in, it does appear that at least Europe-ish area has a better work-life balance than Americans.
Right.
We have just learned to wake. Yeah.
Extreme.
Way extreme. Too extreme. Well, and like I was talking about for the farmers around here, and this may be controversial, but they work until they die.
They work a lot.
And they don't stop.
Mm.
And when they stop, it's not good.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah.
They work hard, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. It takes a special kind of person, and a special kind of family, if you have a family farm, to do that, to do what they do. Because it is a lot of times a 24/7 thing at particular times of the year or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people that, have a dairy farm and they get calls out at different times of the night, day, whatever, that they got to go take care of something or fix something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
this world, well, not the world, but the country, our country, what would they do without all of us working?
I don't know. I don't know.
Sheesh.
I mean, I guess we a little bit during COVID, but the whole world shut down.
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, yeah, good topic. Your work and your work.
Yeah.
Two different things.
Yeah, work on.
They can blend.
They can blend.
They can blend. So, look for ways to find that good blend.
Yeah.
Of work, life,
check your
hobbies.
Yeah.
Joyful things.
Check in with yourself.
Yeah. You're going to be a better employee if you can take time to live your life outside of work. So,
yeah. And bosses should encourage. I have a fantabulous boss who encourages that.
Mm-hmm. That is very, very good.
Yeah.
And I've been offered, a lot of flexibility as well.
Yeah.
And I've been super blessed to have a job where I didn't have to, things ringing, right? I haven't had to work weekends in, 31 years. So, I mean, talk about counting your blessings. That's been a huge blessing.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And that's why I like that one thing that we were listening to, that PD thing, because I think the guy that was speaking, I couldn't go, but we were able to listen to it, via digital or whatever. But he was either a principal or the superintendent of a school, and talking about that, he encourages his staff because they all get a light switch. Well, two things they get that I really loved was they get a light switch so that, when you go home, shut it off.
Yeah, I like that.
Shut off work and go home. On your way back in, click it, click it back on and get yourself in work mode. The other thing that all his staff have from bus drivers to school teachers, cafeteria people, whatever, they have a pacifier to remind themselves that every child, every adult, every person that they come in contact with is somebody's baby.
Oh, I love that.
I know.
Oh, that's so good.
Everybody, that parent that comes in that's upset about something with their, you know what?
That's so good.
Everybody is somebody's baby, and even the superintendent, even the principal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even the boss at wherever, is somebody's baby.
Yeah.
So I liked that.
Yeah. I think that reminds us to be a little gentler.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah. And to know that most people are coming at something from, a place of caring.
Yeah.
Not everybody.
Yeah.
But even those ones that aren't caring are still somebody's baby.
Yep.
And so maybe you got to handle them with kids' gloves or something.
Yeah.
Put that. So, yeah. So, go on out into the world and
spread some joy.
Try
something new.
Yep. Try something new. Turn off work.
Yeah.
When you go home.
Work on turning off work.
Yeah. Well, we're super glad you were here.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, we're super glad that we could be outside.
Mm-hmm.
This beautiful August day.
Soak it up while we can.
In Michigan. So, yeah.
It's almost September.
I know.
I can't believe it.
I know it is. It's almost Labor Day weekend in the
Yep.
United States. So to
Mhm.
those of you that are in the United States, happy
Yep.
Labor Day weekend.
Yep. Have
That
to be
is
safe.
the weekend that I guess we celebrate the fact that we all work. So actually, this
Convenient,
topic was
actually.
actually
Wow.
look
That
at us.
was
Look at us draw that
Yeah.
out of the hat.
so happy we work ourselves too much day.
Yes.
Good for us. Now you should take that this weekend and the day to relax from
Enjoy yourself.
labors.
And if you have to work over the weekend, find some time to relax and enjoy yourself, or take a day next week for your Labor Day
Yep.
and take a day to enjoy yourself.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
yeah, we can all find some time to
Chill.
chill.
Yep.
All right. Well,
Okay.
thank you for being on Anything Bagel.
Yes.
If
Join us next week.
you know someone who you think would get something out of this, please share it with them.
Share it with your local workaholic.
Yes, yes, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hit the like button if you liked it. And if you have a topic you want us to share, put it in the comments.
Subscribe.
And
You know the bit.
it's always exciting. That's our most exciting part.
I know.
Topic.
We kind of sometimes
yeah.
argue over who gets to pick.
Yeah.
It's so
all right.
Okay.
Well, all right. Have a great Labor Day.
Yep.
And we'll see you on the next episode.
Yeah. Thank you.
Maybe we'll have a special guest. We don't know.
Who knows what will happen on the Anything Bagel?
Anything bagel, anything can happen.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye-bye.